Hi, I'm Andrew Reynolds, the principal of TPD Claims Advice and EFS Advice. I wanted to do a quick video for personal injury law firms and how to refer your clients to us for assistance with their TPD claims. I am going to keep this pretty short. I just want to talk about why to refer clients for financial assistance, how to refer, what happens when you've referred a client to us, what do we do. We have a bunch of free resources on our website, TPD Claims Advice, and then I want to talk about our initial TPD assessment consultation, which is a non-financial advice service, and then a small portion of your clients might go on to need financial advice. So I want to talk you through that process. Now, if you've seen me talk before or looked around my website, I feel pretty strongly about this. I think most, if not all, TPD insurance claimants, when getting their benefit through super, should understand that withdrawal form before they tick the full withdrawal or the partial withdrawal box. I think there are risks in doing a full withdrawal. There's potentially tax that can be saved or minimized. There might be Centrelink benefits these people are on that could be impacted by that withdrawal. They might be getting other taxable like benefits that again can be impacted and assessed quite differently. And so there's a whole raft of reasons why I think people should be careful before doing a full withdrawal. We always help people make that first initial withdrawal, but it might be enough to pay legal fees and any other immediate bills, and beyond that, we'll talk them through the pros and cons. Checking the tax rate is another big reason, and a lot of super funds, as we know, don't even give the tax quote. So how can these people make a decision without knowing that? However, on the other hand, not doing a full withdrawal has its own risks as well. So if people are leaving a significant amount of money in super, do they retain access to it forever? Which they do, but they can lose the tax concessions that come with a TPD withdrawal from super. And there are simple strategies around this that we can help people with. So, yeah. And why to refer to us as opposed to just putting a clause in a letter or telling your clients to get advice is because every week I talk to people that have had a TPD claim that have had misinformation from all different kinds of sources. They've seen their local advisor, talked to their accountant, talked to the ATO, talked to Centrelink, and they're getting conflicting information from everywhere. So even today, and someone referred to me, said that their accountant said it was tax-free. And as we know, the TPD claim itself is tax-free. It's the withdrawal from super before retirement age that triggers the tax. People call the ATO and they say it's 22% tax. Well, as most of us know, when you do a withdrawal from super, there is a tax-free uplift amount, which is usually very significant. And so it's always less than 22%, but it can be a huge range. And it's different for everybody. Referral options. So different law firms refer to me in different ways. Some put my name and details in a letter to their client, or some just pass on my details to their client. I think the better way to do it is to get permission to send us your client's details, just their name, email address, and phone number. We can then send them some good free information and how to book in for a consultation if they want that. And then many law firms have and are building us into their process because they just see the risks of these people withdrawing their money without getting the appropriate support and advice. When you refer to us, the best way is just an email to our info@efsadvice.com.au email, and just giving us your client name, email address, and phone number, and we will touch base with your client. We'll usually send them an initial email and an SMS just saying this law firm has referred you to us. Here's some links to our website, some information about TPD claims, and information on our services. In the past, We have called all referrals, but we're just struggling to keep up with that at the moment. And so what we're trying to do with the website, TPD Claims Advice, is just provide more and more free information for your clients and TPD claimants in Australia. And then the people that need help beyond that can book in for our initial TPD consultation service, which is $440. And in my mind, massively valuable for that. This is a page, a link that we send to your clients with a bunch of videos addressing the common questions that TPD claimants ask. What's the tax is one of the key ones. Centrelink is another big one, and then some more common strategies with Centrelink and a video on our services. So they can go and look at that. We have a free tax calculator service on our website if you haven't seen that already, and anyone can go in and complete that. There are a bunch of disclaimers there because it's not that straightforward, the tax calculation on TPD claims, but we try and explain how to do that, what dates and information you're going to need to complete that, and then a report can be automatically emailed to the person or to yourself if you wanted to do it for your client. And again, there'll be a bunch of disclaimers on that 3-page report, just saying be careful because tax rates can change, things can happen to increase tax, you can lose tax concessions, and there's a whole bunch of other important disclaimers that come along with that. If people do decide they want to go ahead with our initial service, we always start with our initial TPD assessment consultation, we call it, and it's a flat fee of $440. Again, we used to call all referrals, but we're just trying to keep that cost as low as possible. As we know, there's a bunch of people that are getting quite small settlements. They need to know key information, need to understand their tax rate, make sure it's right, make sure none of their other benefits are being impacted, and that's going to be more than enough for them. They can book in from that initial email we send them through the booking link, or give us an email, send us an email or give us a call to book in for that consultation. Now, when we book in for that consultation, it goes for up to an hour, and there are a bunch of things we take your client through. So we have a process, we ask them a list of questions because each one of the questions can have different financial implications and different information we will pass on to your client. So just to run through them, we ask about obviously the super fund and the claim they've got. Do they have any other super funds or claims? Because we just want to be careful that they don't consolidate, or if they have other claims, there could be different tax rates, there could be other opportunities. FYI, we never have pursued a TPD claim for our clients. We only ever refer work back to the law firm where it came from, and if clients or TPD claimants contact us directly through the website, we would only ever refer legal work onto law firms. Okay. History of consolidation, do they have other common law settlements? The eligible service date is the one thing. It's great if the law firm can collect that. Otherwise, we're going to ask your client to get that. Otherwise, we're going to estimate it and explain how it works to your client. I'll just run through these other questions, but if they're getting work cover in Victoria, they can access the TPD, but not the existing super balance without impacting that. Centrelink, allowances and pensions have a certain type of means testing, income and assets testing. So we're obviously going to talk to your clients about that. Family tax benefits and other taxable affected benefits are assessed very differently to other Centrelink benefits. So they're based on adjusted taxable income. So when you make a withdrawal from super after a TPD claim, it might not have any impact to your disability support pension or job seeker, but the taxable portion will be included in the assessment for family tax benefits, child support arrangements, and other taxable types of benefits like health cards or senior cards, childcare subsidies, Medicare levy and surcharge, and things like that. So we're just going to find those things out. Bankruptcy, TPD is probably not going to be an issue, but we just, again, want to make sure there's no issues there before they go and release all this money. The date last worked. If you've looked into the tax calculation, how it works, this is one of those factors that feed into the tax calculation, and it's a bit of a grey area. So we'll talk to your client about when they had the injury or illness, or their effective TPD date, and when the employment separation happened, and if it's a grey area, we can talk to them about the difference in tax rate might be. We do spend a lot of time arguing with super funds for the earlier date last worked when it comes to tax calculations. And then lastly, we're going to ask your client more broadly about their financial situation. What are their needs for money? And again, do they need help beyond this educational information session? Yeah, so we want to know what they plan to do with the money, what their understanding of their options are, things like that. Once we go through that and then have explained to your client all this educational information about TPD claims, we really hit on some key disclaimers. Okay, so first of all, this service is general information advice only. It's not financial advice, so we'll talk about that. Now, the investment of TPD proceeds. If anyone is leaving money in super, one of the key disclaimers is that money invested or is it in cash? Different super funds have different processes, and that's the one thing it's very important for your clients to know. If they're not accessing their whole TPD and or super benefit, where's the money sitting in the meantime? We have a list of over 80 super funds and track what their processes are with each super fund and where we understand that that money will be directed to. The other second big disclaimer is these people have access to this money forever, even if they go back to work. Their super is all unpreserved, so they can take withdrawals as they like, but they might lose the TPD tax concessions. So that's something that's important. It's for most super funds, it's a 1 year time frame when the medical certificates might expire, and after that they might ask for updated medicals, and there's a very simple way around that, and that is to roll over to another super fund, because that locks in the big tax-free portion, and that person then no longer needs to ever provide medicals again. Even if they went back to full-time work, they've still got full access to that money at the reduced tax rate. So we just talk about that. And then, if relevant, we talk about Centrelink and other benefits that could be impacted. And lastly, is there any remaining ability to continue insurance cover? So they're sort of the key things we go through with people and disclaimers. We then send your client a follow-up email with those disclaimers, a bit of a summary of our conversation, and a report giving them the tax rate, and again, some important information on TPD claims through super. Now, if your client has more complex needs and needs financial advice, we offer holistic financial advice services. The fees for our financial advice services typically range from $3,000 to $5,000, depending on what your client needs. $3,000 is more in the realm of a defined scope type service, where we're helping them just with their super fund, locking in tax concessions, maybe some investment advice. If they have broader financial advice needs or larger settlements or starting income streams with super, then they'll be towards the holistic $5,000 range for financial advice. That's all covered usually in a follow-up meeting we call our discovery meeting, where rather than just bombarding them with information about TPD claims, we want to get to hear where they're at financially, what their plans are for the future. So we go into a bit more detail about what they might need and what support they might need, and there's no cost for that meeting. And after that, we'll send them information on financial advice and how we would help and what our fees are going forward. We have another website, EFS Advice. So I run the two companies, TPD Claims Advice, which purely focuses on TPD claims and providing useful information for personal injury lawyers and TPD claimants. And EFS Advice is the license and the financial advice company where all advice is provided through. And we have this website, EFS Advice, to give everyone more information on our financial advice services. Again, we're trying to build up resources there to explain to people, how to find good advice and how to pay for it, or how you should think about investing and things like that. So over time, we're going to build this money skills section of the EFS Advice website to give everyone some more information on advice. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much. Thanks for your ongoing support. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.